right, let's go ahead and get into it. Gentlemen, welcome to Goodwood University office hours. My name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and welcome. Today we have a pretty interesting topic. I hear from people all the time about this particular one. If you could, let me know who you are. Hit me up in the comment section. What's going on, Michael? Jamaica in the house. Barry, what's going on, sir? Got a gallon? What's going on with the gallon? Uh SBO Kennels, Alabama knows how to party. All right. Yeah. Welcome, guys. Today we are talking about basically what you need to do in order to be ready at that time that you need to be ready. Actually had a client. This is the reason why this came up. He was planning for a particular day, a particular moment, where he's finally getting with the lady that he wants to get with, and he wants to make sure everything's perfect. It's like this is it. Well, that's a quote from him. He said, "This is it." And it's like, no, hopefully it's not the last time. It's not the only opportunity you get, but I understand you want to make sure everything is right with you so that your sexual performance is on point. So what can you possibly do to get to that point? What's going on? Corey, hey, what's going on, sir? Good to see you again. Indy is in the house. What's going on, Mr. Dawes? Uh-huh. Chi Town's in the house, Mr. Washington. Good to see you. So yeah, we're going to be talking about that. For those who are new, this is Goodwood University. Here we talk about the things you need to know in terms of your sexual health, erections, performance, your basic health, everything you need to know to get to the best version of you. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Today we're talking about how to get your game together in terms of getting to the best sexual performance that you can. And let's say, just say you have a girl that's coming into town and you really want to be ready for it. You want to be able to perform for her. And so there are a couple of things that you need to have in mind when you go into it. And oh, by the way, of course, this is all about you. So if you have any questions, go ahead and put those into the comment section. What's going on with you, Richard? Hello to you. Go ahead and put those in the comment section. I will get to that. Whatever your question is, we around here we talk about everything: premature ejaculation, the porn, masturbation, all the stuff, the good stuff, the bad stuff, all the way around relationships too. So as I was saying, so you got a woman coming into town. What can you do to set the baseline for it? Because we're talking about guys who are already there. We're talking about 6 to 10 on the sexual performance scale. For those guys who don't know, the sexual performance scale is a scale of 1 to 10. 10 means everything works. One means you need to go to the hospital. 5, 6, 7 just basically means you're unreliable. This is for the guys who are 6, 7, and just going on up. In terms of you need to have everything ready, everything working. You've been unreliable. You've have questions yourself. In terms of like, hey, she's here. I'm not correct. What's going on? We're here to answer that question right now. So you do need to be somewhat already reliable for this, and also you need to be planning this out. It isn't like you can um, not be taking care of your health. You're not doing all the things you need to be doing, and then suddenly everything works. You need to sort of plan this out, and this is that plan. So, a couple of things you can do beforehand, just to make sure that you're getting to the level that you need to be at. You can go ahead and lift heavy. We're talking about increasing your testosterone. Your testosterone develops overnight, so you need to be lifting heavy the day before, so that when you do, so the day of, you had your good sleep. We'll talk about that. And your body's producing that testosterone that you need for the bursting and burning of testosterone is what fuels an erection. Real King, Buffalo, New York, in the house. All right. And one of the things you don't want to do is overdo it, especially when it comes to aerobic exercises, because when you're doing aerobics, especially steady state cardio for a long period of time, you're actually increasing your level of cortisol. And a lot of times people think that testosterone and estrogen are the ones that are in combat with each other. It's actually testosterone and cortisol. As more your cortisol goes up, the lower your testosterone is. Cortisol is a stress hormone. And though you need to have a level of relaxation and stress while having sex, you don't need to have a high level of stress. You've never seen somebody in a fight with an erection. And if you did, they were on something. And that's something good. So yeah, you do want to be careful with your aerobics workouts. Obviously, no alcohol. That's a big one, especially if you're already unreliable. The older you get, something a lot of guys don't recognize is that the older you get, the more things affect you faster and last longer. So, you could be in your 20s, early 20s, have a drink, and everything's still working. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, that starts going down. Your alcohol consumption needs to slow down regardless. But especially if you're already unreliable, alcohol is not a good situation. Another thing you want to do is avoid, and I know guys may cringe at this. You want to avoid a meat-based meals leading up to that. And the reason why is because meat does thicken up the blood. It does cause some issues. So you're not getting the level of blood flow. This is not a question of whether or not you should eat meat. This is a question of whether or not you need to have your erection. So having excessive meat in your system is not helpful for you. And even when you're going to sleep, the blood flow, you have 4 to 5 erections while you're sleeping. The blood flow for those erections, how long they are and how much blood flow you're getting into your penis is much less. So that just lets you know that this is a true ism, that your testosterone, that your blood flow is affected by the meat. Also, definitely the amount of sleep that you get. Someone once said that sleep is the best performance enhancing drug there possibly is, and it is. A lot of things happen in your body while you're asleep. Your repair cells are at work. Everything is at work. Your testosterone levels are going up. Your human growth hormone levels are going up. Everything is going up. And so that's the reason why you need to have sleep, and it needs to be high quality sleep. We have to actually cover in a few videos the things you need to know about sleep. And guys, I'm telling you, a lot of times we're sitting there thinking that, oh, if I just, if I get my 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours of sleep, I'm good. Even if you're getting 7 hours of sleep and it's being disturbed because you have your pet in the room, or you have loud noises that are coming by, or you have, your girl is coming in, like all these different things. Any interruptions to your sleep is going to break your sleep cycle, and therefore it's going to break the process of your immune system going up, testosterone, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah. um and for those who are just joining us, welcome. My name is Brian, aka Uncle B, and we're talking about how to get to your best sexual performance for game day, the day that you're going to be having sex. What do you things do you need to know? So these are some things that you can also add into that. Um, we're talking about intermittent fasting. So, the day of, actually, if you could get away, if you're prepared for it, if it's not going to stress you out, if you could not eat before having sex, that's great. Um, because what happens, as I mentioned before, your testosterone, human growth hormone, is going up while you're sleeping. As soon as you eat something, it all stops. And I'm not saying it stops, period, but it just that ramp up that you have, your body, as soon as you consume something, your body's like, well, I have to take care of that. Anything that you eat, natural, whatever, your body has to focus in on that, because there's a possibility, even if it's a healthy apple that you grew in your backyard, or organic, whatever, there's still something in there your body has to pay attention to. So it's going to cut off other things. So if you're fasting or you're doing intermittent fasting, that actually allows your body to start prepare, and actually it gives you more testosterone. It gives you that level of aggression, because hey, if you don't have any food, your body's natural instinct is to set itself up to, like, I need to go get that food, chase that animal down, fight somebody for the banana, whatever is going on. That's what you have to do. So fasting or intermittent fasting helps. And avoid sugar. Avoid sugar like the plague, because sugar actually lowers your testosterone levels. For if you're younger, it'll lower it for like a half an hour. The older you get, the more it's going to lower your testosterone. So and just think about it. Even a glass of orange juice has a good 22 grams of sugar. That's your daily um, daily volume. So avoid sugar. So obviously, if you can get a if you're going to eat, go ahead and eat plant based. That's going to help out a lot. And if you're serious about it, I'm saying plant based. I don't even mean the vegan stuff. I mean the actual plants. So there we go. And so, plant-based diets are actually going to lower the inflammation, and that's what you need. You need your body to be in a situation where you have lower inflammation. So we're talking about watermelon, arugula, kale, pomegranates, spinach, beets. garlic, walnuts, oranges, not walnuts. Walnuts can mess with your estrogen. I mean, mess with your testosterone a little bit. But almonds, there are plenty of nuts out there that'll work for you. And you also want to meditate. You want to lower your cortisol. So if you're trying to have sex that night or the next night, going into meditation is actually going to help in so many different ways. It's hard to explain it. I do micro meditations all the time. I'll just take 10 breaths in, 10 breaths in with a longer breath out. It's just it it all up in your brain. It's all up in your brain. You're getting that extra oxygen into your system, and your blood pressure is lowering, and you're able to function better. And this is the big one, guys. This is a big one. Avoid porn. Um, and you actually, the more you're avoiding porn beforehand, the more you're avoiding masturbation beforehand, the better you're going to be. And here is the reason why. When you're looking at porn, your brain is releasing dopamine because it's pleasurable to look at the porn. The issue is if you're constantly looking at porn, your dopamine receptors aren't receiving it. So you have dopamine and the receivers are getting worn out. And now when you're around another human and you want to get to that touching and everything like that, it's not working well for you because now your body's like, hey, she's not swinging from the chandelier with a zebra like I saw in that video. So it's not as exciting. So you want to build up that pressure within yourself. You want to wait for that dopamine hit to be her. All right. And even if you're going to and some guys do this technique, they'll masturbate but not ejaculate. That actually helps out a lot in terms of your aggressiveness and the way that you function. But you have to, everybody's body is different, so you have to experiment with that. So the day of she's there. She's on her way there, whatever. What do you do on the day of? Everything I talked about, you need to be doing several days before. But the day of, one of the great things is to actually warm up and stretch, because sex is an athletic activity. We don't think of it that way, but it's an athletic activity. So just like with going out to play basketball, whatever sports you're going to do, you have to warm up, you have to stretch. You don't want to be catching a hammy in the middle of a good position. You don't want your shoulders to keep locking up because now you and your body's focusing on like, oh, my shoulder's hurting, my foot is hurting, whatever is happening. You don't want to be disturbed by the fact that you just haven't stretched. Also, you want to relax, just period. Just like I said, the meditation. So the day before, only the day of that you're trying to get with her, you want to be as relaxed as possible. Also, foreplay is for men. Say this all the time. Foreplay is for men. And the reason for that is because we live in a world now where we're not being touched. We everything we're accessing, we're like looking at our phones and things like that. We're not uh actually communicating, working with people. So if you're going to be having sex with a person, it'd be better if you're sort of just pre-programmed, pre-warmed up. So, if you need to call her beforehand and say some things, just to get the fire going, not only in her, but also within you, go ahead and do that. Also, beforehand, take your time. Take your time in terms of just enjoy the moment, enjoy the pleasure of touch with her. And so that's all going to help. Now, let's talk about your mindset. Um, get your head in the game, sir. Get your head in the game. It's focus on enjoying yourself and her. So, go ahead and relax. One of the things that a lot of guys get into in terms of their sexual performance, if it's not a physical issue, it's a mental issue. The mental issue is basically you're sitting there thinking about what's about to happen. So she's coming over. Am I having an erection? She just took her clothes off. Am I having an erection? She's doing it. Am I having? You never thought about that before. You didn't have that issue before. But because you've had a couple of performances or a few performances that weren't as good, you're now thinking, oh my God, I'm not sure if she's going to, is it going to work? And so you're questioning things. And so you're doing what's called spectatoring. You're just focusing in on you and on your Johnson, whether or not it's up or, how up is it? Am I ready? All these different things. Relax. Just go ahead and relax. Most guys, once they recognize that they're spectatoring, they stop. Not a problem. Um, and basically, that's that's those are the main tips right there. You can get into personal situations in terms of like, what is it that is holding you back from being the best version of yourself in the bedroom. And that's the reason why we have Goodwood University. That's the reason why we have, oh, actually, I didn't talk about the other thing. Let me get this in there. Your supplement game. Your supplement game. Guys, just think of it this way. What crap have you been eating in your life? I'm just not talking about recently. I'm just talking about when you were a kid, all the sugar things, all these different things like that. Your body is, when they say you are what you eat, that's a literal thing. 25% of your body is your DNA. It's like your height is locked in, your eye socket size is the same, hair type, skin color. Those things are going to stay the same based off of your DNA. 75% of your body is what you consume and what you do with it. It's that simple. So, when we say consuming whatever meat you're consuming, whatever you're putting in your mouth and breathing in, you're collecting through your skin, all of that is going to show up in your performance. It's going to show up in who you are. So, if you're going to be, when it comes to supplementation, that's highly important. I used to, we have Goodwood, the sponsor of this, Goodwood and Goodwood Advanced. If you want to check that out, go to givegoodwood.com. Those are supplements that we recommend, but there's so many other supplements. We also talk about what we have here: ashwagandha, black maca, all the different herbs that are necessary for you to get to the best version of you. You need to have the natural chemicals working for you, because for years, if at one point I had the 7-Eleven diet, the McDonald's diet. You've been consuming all of these things that are not helpful for your energy levels. Now you need to consume as much as possible in terms of helping out your energy levels. And one thing you don't want to do is wait till the day of and start consuming it. For example, black maca will take 2 to 4 weeks for you to feel the effects. Ashwagandha will take up to 60 days. And they affect your body differently. We start off with Goodwood and Goodwood Advanced because it's 8 different herbs in one tincture, liquid tincture. So it's getting into your body very quickly and it starts to work. So, um, so yeah. If you have all these things dialed in, if you have your food dialed in correctly, if you got your sleep in, you're exercising correctly, you're doing your intermittent fasting, and you're taking the stress out of it, all of these things add up to you being able to have sex. That's the whole thing. Get to the point where in that day that you want to have sex, it's good. If you, and this is the most important part, let's take this and extend this out. If this becomes a lifestyle, it becomes hugely different. Back in the day when I was first figuring all this stuff out myself and doing my little research, it was like, oh wow, okay. So if I did this, and this that day, great. And then I go back to doing all the crap. And then all of a sudden it's like I got to ramp back up to, for the next performance. But it's all about having it become a lifestyle. Um, and once you have that lifestyle, things are just there. And I'll go ahead and Real King, Buffalo, New York in the house. He said, I never knew supplements could take that long to take effect. Yeah, yeah, it does. What we're used to is Western medicine that says, like, hey, you take this and it's, instant gratification. It's going to work immediately. Nature doesn't work that way. It's like we're taking supplements that we're actually just supposed to be having. And actually, it's not even just the supplements, it's like the foods that we eat, period. So it's sort of like saying a person would say an apple a day would keep a doctor away. There's truth to that. There's the reason why that saying was made. However, it's not like, they're saying an apple a day, as in you have to keep doing it all the time. The same with, for example, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is absolutely wonderful for your sleep. For me, I'm in a high pressure business, just life, period. And so my sleep was always being affected, waking up in the middle of the night, taking a long time to go to sleep, waking up early all the time, taking the ashwagandha. It took a while before I noticed that, oh, my sleep is better. And once your sleep is better, oh my goodness, Everything changes. Like I said, the best performance enhancing drug on the planet is sleep. Your body already knows what to do. It just needs to be still. And what it's going to do is take what you did during the day, and it's going to allow your body to take all of that and start, repairing, restoring. So if you're working out during the day, tearing your muscles, you're doing the intermittent fasting, increasing your testosterone, and then, you had your evening meal or whatever. But all of that adds up overnight. If you do everything right and you sleep for 3 hours, you messed it up. So the bag, as it were, is in the sleep. Yeah, 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 yeah. What's going on, Mr. Dawes? Which supplement is the best? Obviously, I'm going to say Goodwood. And the reason why I say that is because I've been working with, I've had more good of, well, it's called African Fly originally, but I've had more of this formula than anybody on the planet. Healthy, no problems, everything is working. But that comes along with all the other things I talk about. But one of the reasons why we recommend that, and for older guys now, when we recommend Goodwood Advanced, is because it has 8 different herbs in it, and these herbs work in conjunction together, so it works faster. And also because it's a liquid formula in a tincture. It actually gets into your system much faster. So basically, when you're taking it, you hold it under your tongue. The membranes under your tongue are thinner, and so it gets into your body, and it increases your testosterone level and your blood flow to your genitals. And you can tell that by your hands are feeling cooler and your feet are feeling cooler because the blood is being drawn in that direction. The And so, yeah, what we also do recognize is that, the other herbs will work as well. You just have to stack them. So I'll take Goodwood and the ashwagandha and the black maca, um, and, testing, trying other products out. It's interesting for me because now it's like everything just works. So if I add in another product, I really have to pay attention because it's like, wow, this is really working. So, um, mhm. Mm. Haha. Yeah, good point. Real king. I was taking ashwagandha and maca root at one point, but didn't notice the immediate effects. Needless to say, I didn't continue with it. Go back to that, sir. We do have at givegoodwood.com, we do have black maca, red maca, ashwagandha. We partner with Mother Nature's Organics, which is a great company. They're very diligent about sourcing the best materials, and those are the ones that I deal with. Actually, let me go ahead and put this on there. If you want to check out, you want to go to givegoodwood.com, and we do have the coupon code GW15 to take 15% off of your order. So, and we do have the powder. The powder I like just because I like putting it into my smoothies, and I add it into my drinks. And of course, you do have pill form. One of the things I do want to say about, well, I'm sorry, capsule form. This capsule, there we go. This is a black maca. This right here, not a joke. Um, and as I mentioned, we have the liquid form. This is good wood. Yeah, this works amazingly well as well, of course. So one of the things that we want to make sure that you understand is when we talk about here around here, when we talk about the supplements, we talk about powder, we talk about capsules, which are powders in just a capsule, and we talk about the liquid form, which basically means that we took the powder, put it into a tincture, alcohol base, let it sit there for like 2 weeks, and then strain it out, and you have the essence of the herb, so it acts faster. um, mhm. Mm, okay. Money Mike, what's going on? So, Money Mike says, so Goodwood didn't really work for me. I mean, I had more energy, and that's part of what it's supposed to do, but didn't notice any difference in my performance. I know you talked about a refund, made Goodwood Advance would work. Okay, so yeah, yeah. That's one of the reasons, once again, why we have Goodwood University. We also have the uh sexual performance quiz. We also have coaching. We have all of that because everybody's body is different. So like with Money Mike, he says he had more energy. Well, it's like, okay, what else was going on? What was leading up? What were your patterns leading up to taking that? Because the thing that we recognize is that it's a supplement. It's supposed to supplement the other things you do. If you don't do those other things, you're going to run into. It doesn't matter what you're taking. You're going to run into issues. Um, so yeah, I mean, as far as Goodwood Advance, my question, of course, will be is your age. The reason Goodwood Advance has nettle in it, we added nettle because what nettle does is stop your body from doing aromatase, which is basically taking testosterone and turning it into estrogen. That's what happens as you get older. Also, your uh, testosterone will combine with or bond with other hormones that it shouldn't be. So now you have less free testosterone going through your body. So you notice that as you get older, one, it's harder to hold on to muscle mass. Two, it's easier to get to gain fat. That's basically your testosterone is now turning into estrogen. So there are some guys who have more estrogen than their women do as they get older. Uh, SBO kind of do you get to check out that 300 stroke technique method? No, no, I haven't done that. I have that. My fault, my man. My fault. I'll definitely have to check that out. But yeah, yeah, yeah. I do want to make sure you guys understand that if you're trying to get your performance good for just a day, remember what you did and do that all the time. That's that's what it comes down to. It is very important that you're on the regular getting yourself to a better position. Uh, the program that we have within Goodweek University, the basis of everything that we do is called ECS 25. That's a acronym for energy, sleep, exercise, intermittent fasting, and soul. And so the 25 is how we score. That's a 0 to 5 in each one of these categories every day. And so that's a system that just allows you to be able to see how you're progressing with the things that you're doing. If you go too far, let me say go too far. If you're scoring a 25 every day, you're on the upward spiral, you're going to get exponentially better. It just your body's pre-programmed. I didn't do it. This isn't rocket science. It's just something that you need to focus in on. And what we do within Goodwood University is help you with with coaching and encouragement. And so, if you're not on that, if you're not paying attention, it's easily you could, be scoring like a 15 on there. So basically, as you get older, your testosterone levels are just naturally going down. A bunch of things in your body, your HGH is going down. A lot of things are going down. That's the reason why you can tell the difference between an 81-year-old and a 21-year-old. So if you understand these things and you understand the process of keeping them up, going up, you can feel younger. I can tell you between all the things that I've done, supplementation too. I'm 52. I feel like I'm 25, especially when it comes to the bedroom. I mean, because I'm exercising, because I'm stretching, because I'm doing all these different things, it adds up over time. And that's the main thing. Do not get into this thought process that I just got to do it one time, and it's going to be it make it a lifestyle. Uh-huh. Mm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, there we go. There we go. Money Mike says I'm 62 at the time while taking good wood. I was fasting in the gym regularly, but I could use more and less sugar. Thanks for all your help. Love following you. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, 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 yeah. And that's the thing, there's going to be a flaw in the works, as it were. If you're not paying attention to it, it is easy. Today's society is set up for us to fail. In terms of we don't get enough light, so we're not getting our vitamin D. We're not moving enough. We're sitting down, so our body isn't. We're not getting the blood flow to our genitals. That's the reason why we talked about penis enlargement. Was it earlier this week or last week? We were talking about penis enlargement, and it's like, well, when it comes to penis enlargement, we're sitting down, so we got the blood flow cut off. So you're not getting as much blood flow, so you could be 20 to 30% smaller. Uh, mhm. All right, Real King says I'll be a member of Goodwood University soon. I appreciate the knowledge, resources, etc. Hey, 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 it's all for you, sir. All for you. Appreciate it. So yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead hit me up in the comment section. For those who are just joining us, this is Brian, aka Uncle B. This is Goodwood University office hours, and this is what we talk about. Money Mike said, I meant more sleep and less sugar. Yeah, yeah. I would say that it's what you don't know that can affect you um, in terms of your level of success. I had a gentleman who was having severe issues with erectile dysfunction. On a scale of 1 to 10, he said he was a 0. So we were working really hard on doing a lot of things, and he was doing a fast. Did a 40-day fast. Better man than me. Hey, whew, I'll get there someday. But he did a 40-day fast. Here's the issue. Every morning he was brushing his teeth. Like you're supposed to brush your teeth, but you're taking sugar. There's sugar paste. I'm not sure why. What the reason why they give you sugar, so much sugar in there, is because they want you to keep on using it. But but basically, he was breaking his fast every morning and not realizing it. So he wasn't getting the full effect of that. He was getting a good 24 hours of autophagy. Well, not 24 hours. After 20 hours of not eating, your body will start cleansing out all the dead cells. So he would get 4 hours of that a day instead of the full range that should have happened over that time. So cool, so cool. So we're coming up on time, fellas. Thanks for joining in once again. You know, we invite you to check out the links below to check out givegoodwood.com if you want to get the supplements, and we have Goodwood University. Please join us there. If there are no more questions, I have to say, gentlemen, have a wonderful weekend. Should be back on Monday, 4th of July. That's a Tuesday. Yeah. We're gonna let that one slide on the 4th of July. Do not over barbecue yourself. Take care of yourself. So, gentlemen, look forward to seeing you next time. This is Brian, aka Uncle B, and this has been Goodwood Office Hours. I will see you